Marilyn Manson, he has settled his lawsuit a week before he was due to go on trial. Jane Doe victim. And I like to note that they use the word victim without saying accuser. Thank you, not Timmy. Sounds good. It depends what you'd like to debate about, I guess. So, victim. And I noticed that this really bothers me, okay, because the court proceedings have not actually been determined as to whether or not this Jane Doe victim is actually a victim or just an accuser. And that really bothers me, you know. Allegations, they're all allegations. Anyway, that aside, there was something that actually truly bothered me when reading this article. So this is from the Daily Mail. She says she was bullied into dropping the case after facing aggressive 7-hour deposition. Okay, so he settled the lawsuit with a woman who said she had reached the out-of-court deal after facing bullying and harassment over her claims. And she claimed in the suit that the abuse happened in 2011, so it was a long time ago, and that Manson deprived her of food, sleep, and sense of safety. This does not mean to say, of course, that he is innocent, all right? It doesn't mean that at all. But it doesn't mean to say she's telling the truth either. So, in the statement to Rolling Stone, I don't know how reliable the Rolling Stone outlet is, but Jane Doe said in the court filings she was fully prepared for the trial and never in a million years thought I would ever settle, but over the past 2.5 years I have silently endured threats. Obviously this can't be from the public or anything like that. This has got to be people around her, and she's obviously claiming this, so this could be a defamation lawsuit if you know, putting it out there. Bullying, harassment, and various forms of intimidation that have intensified over the weeks. And this is what bothered me. Marilyn Manson attended my deposition, and I was forced to answer 7 hours of aggressive questioning with him staring at me from across the table. And when I read that, and I just read that line, and I was like, oh, is that a normal thing to happen in a deposition? Why is the accused attending the deposition? I mean, if that is true, that's intimidation. If that is true, it's bad. Shouldn't do things like that. I've been told this almost never happens, as it's cruel, and that a main reason for it would be to intimidate and inflict emotional distress on a victim. Now, those are her words, okay? She's never cared about money and only ever wanted justice. But if we had gone to trial, I could have lost my right to anonymity. Oh my God, I butcher that word every time. And being victim blamed on a large public scale. That's not necessarily true. There are ways to keep you out of the public. And you wouldn't have necessarily lost your right to that. But, you know. Most importantly, she would have risked losing the freedom to tell my story that you told by going to the police, I hope. And that is worth more than anything in the world. Right. And Brian is pleased, that's Brian's Marilyn's real name, just as previous lawsuits were abandoned without payment for or settle for pennies on the dollar. This plaintiff has now agreed to drop her suit in exchange for an insurance payment representing a fraction of her demands and at far less than the cost to Brian of proceeding to trial. Now, Marilyn Manson, he's got a load of cash, And I don't think it would have been a problem to pay out, he had to pay out the full amount, I guess. But, the developments in Manson's second court, he's got loads of these to his name, settlement this year after he reached another in January. Game of Thrones actress Esme Bianco, who accused him of SA, abuse, and human trafficking. How would you know about the human trafficking? That's just like, am I being naive? Bianca alleged that Manson had done stuff to her while they were dating in 2011 and kept her locked in a bedroom in West Hollywood apartment to keep her from fleeing. Of course, there is no evidence of that, as you can say. It's hearsay. That's what they say in court, right? But do you think that Marilyn Manson is guilty of these things? And what do you think about him attending the 7-hour deposition? I didn't think that was a normal thing to do. Chat about it, don't shout about it. I will link this article below. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my social media pages. It's just weird.